I was born in 2000, grew up in a small town in Northeast Ohio. We had one of those little ranch-style houses, all on one floor, 3 bedrooms. It was just me and my mom for most of my life. My dad left when I was a baby. She was a good mom, from what I remember. We didn't have much money, but she made sure I always had what I needed. She worked as a waitress at a restaurant in the center of town. Always tired, but always kind. We'd watch movies together at night. She'd tuck me in, kiss my forehead, and tell me she loved me. I felt safe, except at bedtime. I must have been about 6 or 7 the first time I noticed it. One night after she tucked me in, I heard the floor creak after she turned off the light. Not out in the hall, right by my bed. I remember freezing, listening. Then I heard the sound of her breathing. Slow, heavy, right underneath me. I leaned over the edge and whispered, "Mom?" She didn't answer, just this soft little giggle. Not mean, not playful, just weird. I called for her louder. After a few seconds, she crawled out from under the bed like it was the most normal thing in the world, smiled at me and said, "Go to sleep, sweetheart. Mommy's here." Then she left the room. The next night, same thing. I heard her crawl under right after lights out. The soft thud of her knees and hands against the floorboards, the shift of the mattress as she settled in, then the breathing. I was too little to really question it. I thought maybe it was just a game she liked to play, but the older I got, the more I realized it wasn't a game. It became a routine. She'd tuck me in like normal, turn off the light, and then she'd get under the bed, every single night. And then she started doing little things. She would tap on the wood under my mattress in these odd rhythms. 3 taps, then 2, then 4. Sometimes it sounded almost like a song, other times like random patterns. If I moved or sat up, she'd stop until I lay back down. A couple times, I caught her peeking out from the foot of the bed. I'd feel eyes on me and look down, and there she was, her face just visible in the dark, one eye glinting in the faint light from the hall. No expression, just watching. I stopped sleeping well. I'd lie stiff under the covers, too afraid to move or call for her. If I tried to leave the bed, she'd grab my ankle. Not hard, just enough to stop me. Then she'd giggle again. That same soft, weird giggle. I never told anyone. How do you explain something like that when you're a kid? I figured no one would believe me. It wasn't every night that something scary happened. Some nights she'd just lie there quietly. I'd hear her whispering to herself sometimes. Words I couldn't make out, soft and steady, like she was talking to someone I couldn't hear. This went on for years. During the day, she was totally normal. Made my lunch, helped with homework, joked with me, hugged me. I remember trying to work up the courage to ask her about it once when I was around 10. I said something dumb like, "Mom, why do you sleep under my bed?" She just blinked at me and smiled. "Oh, buddy, I don't do that. You must be having silly dreams." But that night, she was there again, and the tapping was louder. By the time I was 9 or 10, I stopped looking under the bed. I started sleeping on the couch when I could get away with it. Eventually, when I turned 11, she told me I was old enough to have a lock on my door. She never came back into my room. I don't know why she did it. I don't know what changed. She passed away when I was 23. Cancer. In her last weeks, she was confused a lot of the time, drifting in and out. But one night, when I was sitting by her bed, she grabbed my wrist and said very clearly, "I kept you safe, you know. You were never alone at night." I still don't understand what she meant. It was a small, aging hotel just off the highway. The kind people check into late, check out early, and forget forever. Room 304 was the only one left. The receptionist hesitated before handing over the key. "Bit of a draft in that one," she mumbled. I didn't care. I just needed to sleep. One night, no questions. The hallway smelled like old carpet and wet paint, the kind of smell that sinks into your clothes. The room was clean, in the technical sense. Fresh sheets, dim lamp, no clock, no TV. But the air inside felt stale, like someone had been breathing there just moments before. The first odd thing happened around 2 a.m. I woke up suddenly, not startled, just alert, like I hadn't woken up on my own. The room was quiet, until I heard a soft creak. Not from the hallway, from inside the room. My eyes scanned the dark. Nothing, no movement. But then faintly, breathing, shallow, rhythmic, coming from the corner. The darkest one. Just beside the curtain. I sat up, focused my eyes. Nothing there. No draft. No window open. Eventually, the breathing faded. I told myself it was the pipes, or maybe I was dreaming. The next night, it got worse. I had only planned to stay one night, but my car broke down. The same room, room 304. Around 2 a.m., I woke again, but this time, I wasn't lying down. I was standing, in the corner, the same one where I had heard the breathing the night before, facing the wall, like I had been placed there. When I snapped out of it, I stumbled back to bed, sweating. No alcohol, no pills, no explanation. I checked out the next morning, said nothing. Months later, I came across an article by chance, a local true crime piece about the same hotel, room 304. A man had been found there, years ago, standing in the corner, face against the wall, dead, no signs of trauma, no drugs in his system, just deep scratches in the wall, where his fingernails had been worn down to nothing, and the coroner's final note, lungs filled with dust, as if he'd been breathing in that corner for days. I checked the photo, room 304, same curtain, same wall, same corner I had stood in. Some rooms don't want you to sleep, they just want you to remember how it feels, to be watched. They moved into the apartment mid-November, top floor, plenty of light during the day, too many shadows at night. It was old but charming, wooden floors, brass fixtures, and a tall antique mirror built into the wall of the bedroom. They didn't think much of it, just a relic from the past, unmovable, unbreakable. The first time it happened, Mara was brushing her hair. She looked up, and for a moment, just a flicker, her reflection was smiling, but she wasn't. She blinked. It was gone. She told herself it was a trick of the light, stress, fatigue, anything. But over the next few nights, it got worse. Her reflection started lagging behind, a half-second slow, just enough to notice. And then it began watching her, even when she wasn't looking directly at it. One night, Mara turned the mirror to face the wall. She thought that would help, but the next morning, it was turned back, perfectly straight, center of the room, like it never moved. Her husband didn't believe her. "You've been sleepwalking again," he said, but Mara knew better. She started avoiding the mirror, stopped brushing her hair at night, stopped undressing in front of it, stopped looking into it at all, until one night, she woke up. The room was dark, silent, except a scratching sound. She turned slowly. The mirror was fogged from the inside, and written in the condensation, backwards but unmistakable, "Turn around." She froze, didn't move, didn't breathe, but from behind her, in the faint reflection of the glass, a girl, standing, smiling, identical to Mara, but her eyes weren't human, and her smile didn't move. Mara screamed. Her husband ran in, lights on, No girl, no fog, just Mara, collapsed, staring at the mirror, whispering over and over.
Shit, it's me right here.
She was me, but I wasn't her. They covered the mirror, moved out 2 days later. But the next tenant, he unpacked his things, peeled off the cover, and saw someone already staring back at him, smiling. Some reflections don't show you what's real. They show you who's waiting.